Anapela, it is so nice to see you. Congratulations on your success, and it's so good to see you're alive.
Thanks, Chris. Yes, it is lovely to talk to you from the dead. Yes.
Well, it's good because this is real and this is raw and this is what we like. You probably get this so many times, but I'll just get it out the way. Throughout the film, I kid you not, I cried through most of it. And it was kind of like that anticipatory grief because you knew things may not end well. And so I was kind of preparing myself for that. Do you understand what I mean by that?
Yes, I do.
When you were reading this whole script, what did you think? For the first time, do you remember thinking, this is powerful?
Yeah, all the mixed emotions. Like I remember during the read, our friend Kirk, who was reading the big print, was bawling throughout it, you know. And we all were, you know. Because the thing is, I know the Mangasiwa family, so it's very close to the story is close to them, and also because I've known Miki for so long as well, and his heart. So reading it, I was just, I mean, we were all very emotional throughout the whole thing, and also to whom it's dedicated to, his story. Yeah.
When you were filming this movie, was there something in your heart that thought this is going to be a great success? Or at that time, was it this could be great, this will be just another film? Or did you and the crew and cast know you were onto something very, very special?
Well, you don't really know, you know what I mean, Chris? You just, all you know is that you love, all I knew was that I loved the character and I loved being part of the family and I loved going to work every day. But I didn't really think anything otherwise in terms of the future of it. I just, in all the works I think I do, I just sort of like go in and do the best that I can. I don't really sort of predict anything else other than just what's in the moment and what's in front of me. But listen, I'm just overwhelmed by the response. You know, I know if anyone wants to ask me, did you have any idea it was going to be like this? I would have said no, absolutely not. I didn't have any idea it was going to be like this. You know, like the response has been like, oh my goodness, it's been more than what I could have ever imagined.
Well,
But in a beautiful way.
Yeah. I can't think of a film that I've seen in a long, long time where I have cried so much. And I went with my partner and I went with my mum and my dad and we all came out and we had to have a wine. And I'm not much of a wine drinker. And we all cried again. And I don't think I've ever seen a film where not only does it pull the heartstrings, but it is appropriate for so many different reasons, for so many different people. I think there'll be members of the audience who will be, maybe they're Samoan themselves, they'll take away something different to somebody who is of European descent and from Christchurch and goes to a private school. There are so many layers to this movie, which in a kind of weird way, I think makes it all that more appealing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. There's just this overwhelming sense of unity. It's almost like we've been waiting for something to allow us to release in some way, to have this sort of a human cathartic experience. And it's together, you know what I mean? Very much like how, you know, Miki wrote the play about togetherness, about moving through life together. But yeah, I completely agree, Chris. It's I can't even put it into words sometimes when I'm in a theatre with people and then I come out and they just want a moment to sort of like recalibrate themselves.
Yeah.
You know, and because they've gone through something like deep within themselves, or it's a spiritual cleansing or whatever that may be, but there's always a moment to recalibrate. And I don't know many people. I mean, I surely In the past, I've definitely, when the credits roll up in the film, maybe a couple of minutes, but other than that, I'm out. And this one,
This one
I
here, I need a whole box of Kleenex.
yes, and people saying like we need to sort of like watch all of the credits. We need to watch the whole thing down, and then we kind of leave and clutching onto each other.
That's interesting you say that, because when I went with my family to the film, usually if I go with my mum or my dad, would get up straight away, and that's it. But no, we stayed to the very end of the credits because we felt like
Yeah,
it was not just the right thing to do, but it was almost a respectful thing to do. I won't tell the audience why, but I don't want to give too much away, but it was something that you felt
yes,
you had to do to reflect the power of the film we've just watched. And I can't believe I'm even saying that because, just a movie, but it wasn't just a movie.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I think like the team has worked. I mean, the edit, and the music and the way it's the way it's composed, like from scene to scene,
Mm.
all of that I think just adds to our human experience of just letting go, letting go, letting go. And it's like when you watch something, you always sort of like watch it on a platonic level. But in this one, I feel because I went through it myself and kind of forgetting that I was even in it, um, sort of like it suddenly it just creeps up on you. I remember feeling that during one of the previews, one of the test screening that I went to. I thought, wow, that's really, and then the layers of it all, and but the music was, I mean, yeah.
The
What
music's
else can you say to
fantastic.
that,
The
Chris?
music is fantastic. I know
It
that one of
is
your public relations team put out something saying, I think some of the music was going to be available online. I hope that's the case because I've just come back from, well, not come back, but over the weekend there was the Potty Fest here in Christchurch. And, just the amount of music, song and dance and cultural performances, even for this white guy watching it, it's just incredible. And it took me back to some of those choir scenes in the movie, something you don't get
yeah,
anywhere else but, in a Polynesian
yeah,
environment.
totally, absolutely, yeah.
Now, you're not just I'm going to say award-winning actress because let's hope for an Oscar. Thanks very much for this performance. Seriously. For those who don't know your work, it's extensive. It's both in theatre and film. I think I read somewhere that you started your acting career, as it were, in about, 2002. How did you find the stage experience transitioning that to influencing your performance in a film because they're so different, aren't they? They all have different challenges. And there's a lot of waiting around, isn't there, when you're in a film?
It, yeah, but like this is the great thing about the theatre. Like I got into drama. I think when I started like at 15, like back in like 97. I think I did my theatre that as a teenager from South Auckland. I got into the theatre when I was about 15, 16. Yeah, about 15, and then kept going back to the Maidment Youth Theatre. Was under the guidance of Samantha Scott and Christian Penny, Anna Mulbrook. So there were these, and we were just young teenagers, sort of like floating around in Auckland and finding this place, this home. And for myself, I'd never experienced anything like it because I did the school productions, but this was very concentrated and like from 9 to 4, I think it was, every day during our school holidays. I went to what was called the Maidment Youth Theatre, and it was only during the school break, the big summer break. So it was 9 weeks intensive, and I did that for like 3 years. So like from 15 till about 18, 19, and so really, and then I got into drama school in 98 and then graduated in 2000. Gosh, I'm telling you my age, aren't I? Um, and then so thank I'm really grateful to my formal training, and I'm grateful to being taught like really um, like the tools of like the discipline in what it is in theatre, to understand the work that's required and the work that's required of you, like to bring forward a character to life. So I'm really thankful to all of that, and which has made it, I think, the transference from stage to film. Um, not trying to say it's easier, but it's manageable. I found that I can manage it, because in theatre you rehearse for like 4 weeks and then you're on for 4 weeks during a season, and whereas with film and or screen work, you find like it's a new production every day. It's a
Yeah,
new
I
production
bet.
every day.
How long did it take to
Um,
film this movie? And I've got to ask this question. I've been dying to ask this question. Were parts of it actually filmed at Christ College in Christchurch, or were they just the exterior scenes?
Exterior scenes.
So all,
Yes,
so all those exterior scenes, you were there at Christ College.
correct. Yeah, that's right. I think budget. It was a budget thing. You know what I mean? And so the bulk. It was. I imagine. I mean, it would have been a lot to sort of like move and lots of moving parts in film. So I think for budget's sake, the bulk of it was done in Auckland, and the exterior stuff was done in Christchurch.
From your point of view, what do you want people to take away from the film? Or is it just one of those personal experiences where you think, well, you can think what you want to think? Because after the film, I was saying to you this off air, that there are so many different facets to it. There are so many ways you can think of this film. But I personally think this is a film that every New Zealander should go and see. I really do. And I'm not sure
Yeah,
for what reason, but I feel like it's almost a piece of New Zealand history at a time where it's really important to show others that we can actually come together, despite the fact there is some divisive behaviour from, some of the politicians, society. It's kind
yeah,
of a hope, without sounding wish-washy, it just feels so hopeful.
yeah. No, I'm with you. I think it's a personal thing, right? Like I can't, even like in doing theatre, I can't dictate what the audience should think or feel. You can only do what you can, to honour the writer, and sort of like what is it? What do they want you as a director or the actor to bring to life? So that's all I can do. So, but I think you're right. It's a personal thing, I think, for audience members. You take it, and the thing is, we've done our job now. Now it's up. Now it belongs to it belongs to the audience. So they will do with it what they want with it.
Are you proud of the Pacific Island culture that comes throughout the film?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's just that no nonsense way of being brought up, and just calling a spade, and that's just how it's it's how it's been in my life. So it's an intrinsic thing, isn't it? When you put something like that in front of me, I go, oh yeah, I know that world
Mm.
because I was birthed into that world, in a very, in a very real way. Yeah,
Is it a New Zealand film or a Pacific film?
I would say it's a New Zealand film. I'd say
Mm.
it's an Aotearoa film for sure.
Mm. And just finally,
That's how.
I know that most of your work's done now. Obviously, it is. The film's out, everything's recorded. But just like this, the public relations machine continues. And I hazard a guess. Maybe you're not going to like this, but the more popular this film becomes, and the more people see it, I think the more interviews and the more times people will want to speak with you. How are you finding all that at the moment? Are you getting sick of it?
No, actually, no, Chris. I think because I get it. You know what I mean? People have gone through such an experience. It's like that whole recalibration thing that we talked to earlier on. And I feel like with people talking to me, kind of brings it back down and normalizes. Like it was a character, it was an experience, and it was a very real world. Because it's set in New Zealand, it's set in Aotearoa, so. And it's honouring and giving that the truth and honesty that it deserves. But listen, if we get to the point where it's going to be, yes, I'm ready to continue to talk.
Well, I think you might have to, because I really hope this film goes international. I mean, I know that you started the premiere, I think it was in Hawaii, wasn't it? What a beautiful place to start. And was that a good
Yeah.
experience going there? I love it over there.
Oh, it was, yeah, absolutely beautiful. Beautiful. It was beautifully received. Um, so from Hawaii, then we went to Samoa, to Fiji, then we did Christchurch and Wellington, and of course the Auckland premiere. And then May the 1st. Yes, May the 1st. That's the big Australian release. So that's where it's in all theatres in Australia.
Fantastic. And then hopefully on to other markets right across the world.
I think it will. I mean, like, it's definitely getting major traction from different countries. So fingers crossed, Chris.
You have to sign a contract saying residual payments, please, every appearance fee. and then you'll never have to work again if you're lucky.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Listen, it's been an absolute pleasure to speak with you. It really is. And I've really enjoyed chatting. And look, congratulations on, I know it's a team effort, as you've said in other interviews, but really one of the stars of the film is yourself. And you just, well, feel a bit teary, but congratulations on everything, Anapela. You deserve all the success. And thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much, Chris. I really appreciate that. Much love to you and your family. Thank you.